Why, hello! Welcome back to game number 2 for today. We're on Valorant, if you couldn't tell.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure are.
What are we starting on? Bind, I'm pretty sure?
Yes, we are starting on Bind.
Bind. Okay.
I do not know offhand who's starting what side. I'm trying to, glance over.
Apparently we're starting attack. That's cool, I guess. I don't... What would you prefer in this scenario?
I think starting attack on Bind is better.
Nice.
But I'm also personally just the type of person that just hates playing defense on that map. You can play rotates a lot on attack side.
Why do I feel like
fun.
Valorant defense is just not cool sometimes?
It's really not fun when you're just getting util dumped. And...
All right. Let's see who our starting lineup is.
Yeah.
For today's match against Manchester University. Coming out strong, we got Knight, Jello, Mosey, Zeptic, and Mintmeister. I know 4 out of 5 of these people. Mintmeister, the new recruit of the team. I'm curious to see how he's going to play today.
I'm not sure what role he's going to be playing on Bind. He's been playing Senti. So, but we're running no Senti, I don't think. I don't think we're going to run a Senti.
Interesting.
That.
Interesting
very common,
style.
Very common on Bind to run no Senti there. So
that's a common, okay.
That's very, very common, yeah.
Just would like to give the heads up. My Valorant knowledge consists of the beta, but I'm here to have fun. You know, you just shoot the thing, right? It'll be just pew pew.
It'll be a good match. It'll be entertaining. That's for sure.
I do like entertainment.
Yes, I'm making a little prediction here. I'm going to guess both teams are going to run a Viper Brim comp of some kind because that's usually the meta on Bind. Might close it, sure.
A Viper Brim comp.
Yep.
Okay.
Viper and Brim are the 2 most commonly picked agents on Bind. So, other than when you play ranked, of course. Then in ranked is a
ranked don't matter in esports. we all know. I come from Overwatch. Ranked and competitive play is just 2 separate things. So you don't.
Yeah.
There's no rank ladder translates to what you're running on game day. It don't make sense.
Correct. It's a totally different environment.
It's a world.
So,
it's a new world out here.
Universe even. One would say.
Universe. Oh my god. All right. Looks like still waiting on the match to start. Both teams taking their time.
You'll just have to see.
Okay.
I'm excited. The first game of the Valorant season.
Week 1, baby.
Week 1. Week 1 and any map predictions? Any like score predictions? Do you not want to gamble? I'll gamble. I'm graduating.
Are you saying like score per map, or are we saying score for the series?
Why not both? We got time.
I'm pretty confident TU pulls out the 2-0 pretty cleanly.
Okay.
I don't think we'll have any trouble with this.
All right, we got the agent pick coming up.
And as I predicted, it's looking like it'll be a Viper Brim. Like I said, that's pretty common on Bind. Basically, every pro team runs some variation of that comp. Those are the two agents that you are essentially must have for a good Bind experience. So. Looks like we're going to be running the Yoru. Yoru's great for getting information. You can kind of play him like an initiator. So we can see over at Manchester, they're choosing to run a Sky instead. Even though Yoru's a duelist, he plays very similarly to an initiator. He's got a lot of abilities to get information for the team. So we're going to rely between that and our Fade pretty heavily on some info here. That'll come into play a lot more on the defense side. But you know, of course, it's always nice to have an attack.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of potential as we're starting off on attack. Let's see how Tiffin University wants to kick off their first match of the season.
Well, given what the map is showing us here, it looks like we might have a pretty early fight A, just from the looks of things. I find it interesting that Manchester's got the Cypher set up on A. Usually you see that towards B.
I have the spike. Toxin screen down.
TU working a little bit of Showers play here. Getting the Fade Prowler down short.
Toxins going up.
Manchester playing very disciplined here. Not trying to take an early fight. Just trying to see what happens.
Zeptic goes down to the Cypher, but Mosey here to pick up the trade. Goes down to the Sky, unfortunately. It looks like somebody DC'd.
Uh-oh.
Night.
All right, more technical issues on game day. It really is a kind of theme for today.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But,
I guess it's bound to happen, right?
I don't know if they like don't have chat enabled for in-game players. Not too familiar with the Valorant system in local play.
It's probably hidden for us.
Cool.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, 9Z with the frag on the Oni. And this should be a pretty nicely cleaned up for TU here. Looking really good so far.
Okay, now there probably will be a timeout here. Maybe, possibly.
I would think so.
I would hope so. They do have a DC. Unless they would like to continue going. You know. Okay, we do have the pause timer. That is good.
I really like the way TU works the space on the attack side. You usually want to go for split pushes on Bind because, unlike a lot of maps in Valorant, Bind lacks a true mid. You usually play the rotate with the teleporter there. So it's very common to see teams do split pushes because that gives you your best chance of taking sight. You know, you're trying to overwhelm the defenders there by coming from multiple angles at the same time. It's generally what you're trying to do.
I will say, when TU started the fights, Zeptic did go down to the Cypher.
Yes.
And I did like that TU got the trade very quickly off of that. It was like they were right there ready to...
Efficient trades are a very good sign of a team having good fundamentals of just basic team play. That's a very good sign. I mean, four of these guys have been playing together for a very long time at this point, with Mint being our new guy, but looking very freshman. Yeah, I like
the
that.
Very freshman.
Minty fresh.
Minty fresh. We will not call you that from now on.
But you know, with Mint playing the Viper role, you can see that he was taking space over towards the B site, really just as an extra info gathering tool. Because, you know, worst case, you know, if you already have a site but your Viper goes down, it really doesn't matter because the way that the Viper wall gets placed is mostly just for entering into site or being able to play off of that teleporter there to do a final rotate to B. And because Viper's utility is global, Viper can be basically anywhere and still be useful. So it makes a lot of sense to send 4 people A, do a split push there, to a 2-2 there over on A, and have your Viper, the person with global utility, to go lurk.
This guy knows what he's talking about.
I am a Valorant player.
He's Valorant's player. I play Overwatch, and I watched Valorant for the beta, and a little bit in season whatever 1 or 0. I don't know what they started with.
Something else I'll be interested to see coming out from the TU side, and actually Manchester can do it too, is something you see a lot of times too, is when you have those Viper walls, they're really good. It gives you a lot of good space to throw pop flashes. So on TU side, you'd be seeing Yoru throwing a pop flash through there, and on Manchester side, you'd be seeing a Sky throwing a pop flash through there, because that can be a great way to catch somebody off guard if they're not ready for it. Because when you have a big wall in front of your face, it's a little bit harder to gauge when or where a flash might be coming from. I'll be curious to see.
I
if
do
that
like
gets
that
played.
the big wall is useful.
Big wall, always useful.
Just like
always
that
useful.
big billboard that I definitely think people definitely look at. Hashtag ad for whatever it was. Yeah, it looks like Manchester's still having some tech issues.
I thought I saw a Oh, okay. For a second, I thought I saw a reconnect. But I guess
he
not.
reconnected and then DC'd again. Yes, but it looks like.
I mean,
hopefully they
it's-
get this fixed soon, because
Yeah.
as much as I love the floating camera, I like the game.
But also,
play a
you
little
want
bit
to,
more.
you can feel for Manchester too. Coming in on the first week and. Having issues like that can really halt a team's momentum. It can get really frustrating, especially if you're the person affected, by something like that. I know if I was in their shoes, I would be very annoyed and might be a little off my game for them first couple of rounds coming back. That can definitely happen.
Tech issues are annoying, but especially on game day. Thankfully, during my time when I was competing, no tech issues on my end. But I could imagine.
Yeah.
Former competitor and current competitor, this is like the last thing you want to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, the reference to a fighting game. I didn't even know this was a thing, man. And now it's just us. This is not the reference to the fighting game. It was the thing.
Yeah, the fighting game was more interesting, low key.
Yeah. We are the fighting game, actually. Man. I don't see anything. Anyways.
The rules about around DCing, did that first round matter? Not matter?
What are the rules around DC?
I don't
Couldn't
remember
tell
what
you.
it is off the top of my head, but I think it has something to do with whether or not damage is dealt at the start of the round.
So would they just restart?
So I think if I want to say, I could be wrong. So don't correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody knows.
I have no idea.
But I think generally speaking, for most organizers, yeah.
I do think somebody died first, though.
Someone did.
I think
I
think Zeptic
yes,
died first.
I'm pretty sure. Yes. So I
But-
think if damage is dealt, I think the round is considered in play at that point.
Okay.
So I don't think there'll be a
I think it
rollback or
was in
anything.
play,
I'm pretty sure is how that works.
but yeah, I think it was in
that just
play.
makes sense, like to me.
Unless it's like damage to that person, but that would be very hard to.
No, I think
gauge.
what they mean by damage is damage collectively across the team. So I think it
Okay.
I think it counts because
And
that would be
then
technically 100
I do
damage.
believe that round was in play, based off of that rule.
Yeah.
Zeptic had to go and feed
But
before he DC'd.
the good news is, and you could see this really for both teams, is that even though this tech pause can be very annoying, it is only after the first round played, so there's still plenty of time to get some momentum back, for or continue the momentum or start that momentum really for either side. So
we are sitting 16 seconds into round 2 of a potentially 3-game series.
Yeah.
Is it best to first
Yeah.
of 2?
yeah,
So a lot of time left. Also, this pause, while is annoying and can halt the momentum, they can talk shop. I mean,
yeah.
you
gives,
could
gives
maybe,
a little bit of room for that.
Maybe
some
after seeing
strategizing.
what Tiffin did and what Manchester did, each team can just have a
And I
little
mean-
small convo.
And I mean,
about
if you're Manchester, you're probably thinking like Tiffin's going to be coming out swinging. Like that's just something that you should just expect.
How does the DC affect LeBron's legacy? Good question. It does. It actually does. Believe it or not.
We're googling it as we speak.
It affects it
We'll,
because
ChatGPT it.
LeBron is from Ohio.
I see. I see.
And that's why
Yes.
that's why it matters.
Yes.
That's what I've heard, at least from, of course, our overlords, OpenAI. Also, that was from Cakeman B. Shout out to the original GA.
But, you know, as I was saying, you know, for one, hopefully this tech pause doesn't take too much longer. I don't know if there's any rules in regards to length for things like this.
Even if there was,
it looks like
it
he's
is
back.
game 1 of the season. I would just wait this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not wait all
All right, it looks like
summer
we'll
to
be
just
getting
do
things
nothing.
underway, so we'll see how each side kind of starts their formations here.
Tiffin coming out with one Vandal, one Phantom.
So it looks like Manchester's going to run the same setup, which kind of surprises me, frankly, because they're going to be on an eco round, which basically means that because they lost the first round, they're not going to have enough money to buy up weapons, so they're basically going to full save. They're not going to buy anything, so they have enough money for the next round, which would be considered their buy round. Usually what you see a lot of teams do is on their eco, they'll try to stack a site, which basically means that they position most or all of their team onto one side of the map, and in an effort to try to win out some duels by strength in numbers rather than strength in raw weapons. So we'll see how the defense kind of plays this out too a little bit.
Tiffin does seem a bit more spread on this.
Yeah, that's concerning me a little bit because even if you have the better guns, you know, anyone can anyone can aim duel, and you know it can be challenging still. It can be competitive.
Knight picking up
Knight with
2
a
kills
double kill.
already. What a great start to the round for Tiffin. And it looks like we have Raze on Tiffin maybe lurking up.
Okay, so that double kill might call a rotate over towards B, but yeah, this is an excellent fake from TU from the looks of it. Oh, if it was timed a little bit,
Yeah, I had to say
later,
something.
yeah, I know. If it was timed a
Caster
little bit later, it
curse,
would have
all
been
right.
perfect.
That was our
It would've been
fault.
perfect,
We'll take blame for
but,
that one.
Yep, absolutely.
Mosey
But
picking up
this
the
is
kill.
looking like it should be pretty easy for Tiffin here. Yep.
Who's left? Cypher's left.
5v1
on
at this point, you're just looking for damage, and damage onto Zeptic is dealt.
a lot of damage.
But it's traded out by 9Z pretty easily. Overall, fairly good round. Very good timing on the util. Like I said, that double kill, I was waiting to see if it would call a B rotate. It almost did. Came very close. They did back off that A site and let Tiffin take it with ease. So that's still a win for TU's book for sure. Now, what's going to be really interesting is how the bonus round for Tiffin plays out, because they're not going to buy any new weapons. They're just going to carry over what they had from previous round. And we see that Zeptic over here is going to be buying a Bucky. He's the only one that died. So he's going to try to make something happen with
gotta
that.
buy something.
Yeah. But you can make some magic happen with the Bucky on this map easily.
I believe in Zeptic. Knight taking the long route.
I would say sending one up B long, it can be a little concerning. Mosey out fast. Huge kill from Zeptic.
See, the Bucky got value.
The Bucky did get value.
Bucky got
we take
value.
those. We take those.
Looks like this just looks
Little
to be
fade problem
major
for info.
defense off of Tiffin now. Getting the bomb down.
Yeah, these are some excellent post-plant setups. I will say, I think the Viper does need to end up coming over here. Yep, and that's going to happen. Looking really good for TU right now.
I am kind of concerned Manchester all are trying to enter at the same spot. They do look like they might be going for the save.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the right call for them. There's just realistically no way back into that round. The timer's already burned quite a bit. They were utiled
Tiffin
off.
had a great setup.
Absolutely.
That's a nice, clean win for Tiffin. Septic almost died again, but, you know. Mosey getting picked off. Ooh, he went for the lurk. I see he died.
Any
near
damage
spawn.
for Manchester is something's better than nothing there. But if you're Manchester, you're probably looking to maybe make a couple of changes here.
Yeah, I don't think maybe swap up. I don't. I'm just theorizing.
Hey, it looks like that's exactly what they're
Swapping
gonna
up
be
the
doing.
sights a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to move the Cypher over onto the B, and they're going to have their Viper. I still find it interesting that they're going to play 3A. I actually do think that's the right call for the Manchester side, is to have the 3A. But right now, they're just getting... I think they're getting overwhelmed by TU's defaults. And a default is just kind of when a team spreads out and looks for picks or information, just to kind of figure out what to do after that. You know, you don't always have to shot call around and have an exact plan. You can have a very loose, slow plan and figure something out.
Big nade coming up from
Yes,
Zeptic.
absolutely.
He knows he's there. And
that
gets the pick.
gets the kill.
Wow.
That's kind of surprising, actually.
I thought he moved out of the way for at least most of the damage.
Zeptic's out with the entry here. Great kill on the Kua, I think is how you say that name.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
We're going to go with that one. But that was a great entry from Zeptic. A little risky on it, though.
I think it was a little bit of a calculated risk. I think sometimes when you try to do stuff like that, you go for a little bit of psychological warfare. So, you know,
He does like doing that. The bigger
Min's
risk
coming
was
around
him
with the lurk, though. Look at the
sitting on
timing.
that
Look at this
pillar.
timing. So we'll see our Viper here on the side of TU here has an excellent lurk on timing on this lurk. And you can see all of the TU players are tucking, waiting for this, essentially. So this is going to be perfect.
Great lurk. Gets the pick.
Excellent pinch from TU. Very good round.
That happened so fast.
It did. It happened incredibly fast.
That's what I like about Tiffin so far in this game. Their trades and their
Yeah, this is just really right
their
now.
pinches are very quick.
Yeah, right now this is just looking like a difference in raw fundamentals. I mean, like I said, when you have 4 of the players on TU that have played together for so long, it just kind of starts coming naturally. And you know, so a lot of this stuff you just don't have to drill as heavily. Compared to, you know, a newly formed team. You know, I've had experience with that, being on a new team where finding those fundamentals, getting those nailed down as a team can be difficult and time consuming. Mint's got an absolutely massive lurk here.
Yeah,
Unfortunate that Droopy gets the kill
drop.
onto him. But hey, it's a 1-for-1 kill. We'll take those. It's not ideal, but
Zeptic picks up the
again,
kill
better than nothing.
on Cypher. Mosey, you think Mosey's gonna stick there? Or
Yeah,
just
Knight
run away?
looks like Knight was coming up for the follow up there.
Looks like they're heading back towards
Heinze's
B with
out
bomb.
though onto site, and I think Manchester is blissfully unaware of this. Unaware of at least 9Z's positioning. You know, not the entry because they're calling the rotate here for the execute. This is huge.
I
Again,
do think they are very
amazing.
unaware of this spot. Well, they might know now.
And for Manchester, you know, they're on a save round. They're just looking for damage. They're just looking for any kills that they can get to build up their ultimates here. So they're going to try to play more for some exit frags. Ooh, they're going to try to execute here. Ooh, beautiful timing on Zeptic in that smoke. Absolutely incredible. And once again, Tiffin running away with this game so far on the first half.
Manchester seems to be unsure on how to retake a site. From what
Yeah,
I'm picking up.
it's looking
TU
very
has great
just like
defense once they get site.
Yeah, it's just looking like a case where just, again, I think it's a very large difference in fundamentals. I'd also argue that Manchester's comp is a little bit weaker because with their only initiator being Sky instead of an initiator like Fade, you only have soft info. So like when Sky flashes, you get a blinded notification which tells you roughly where somebody is, but it doesn't tell you exactly where somebody is like Fade would. So I think their info can be lacking a little bit for Manchester, and that's hurting them here. Huge 2 kills by Knight.
Yeah, unfortunately 9Z did go down, but like just the rounds before, those trades are coming in right after.
They're perfect. But now what's nice is that because Knight's got the Your ult can be used for info if they ever wanted to, if their Fade does go down. Zeptic goes down to Kua, okay. Looking like we have a 2v3 retake situation. Knight's going to take the TP and rotate on over.
Looks like Tiffin does have control of A side.
Yes, and once again, Tiffin's just in really good post-plant positions. They just know how to take this space and be unafraid. The only thing Manchester's got going for him in this retake is maybe the Cypher ult getting popped off of a kill, and there's one kill, but it immediately gets traded out by Mint. A second trade. Now we're down to a 1v1, but Mosey's got the Molly lineup, and he's got his ult, so he can stall a lot of time off of this.
Do we think Viper knows this?
I think yes, but just not exactly where their positioning is.
Okay.
And Mosey is still too far. Good timing on the walk here. Yeah, this Saint has no idea that he's coming from showers. This is a perfect play. The orb does help a little bit. Oh. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh.
We're chilling. We're chilling. Very good round from Mosey.
Great clutch by Mosey. I do think if the Viper holds that, they get it.
That was
The
that was
timing
actually
was very
closer than I
close.
thought it was going to be.
That timing was very close.
But at least that's showing some promise from Manchester. As far as that was one of their closer retakes there, closer rounds for them.
Calling out.
And now they're calling timeout.
How many times do you get? One per side?
Yeah. Usually it's one per half, I believe.
One per half.
But-
Okay. Well, hello. It is us again.
But I'd be curious to see what Manchester's thinking here. I think maybe they're starting to get a slight grasp on how to play these retakes. But once again, Tiffin's just doing a really good job of being up and taking space. They're just taking really good space, and you know, in Valorant, you don't have to immediately play the objective. You don't have to immediately plant the spike. You know, you can wait for people to get into some spots, especially if the other team is giving you that space, which Manchester very clearly is. I think if Manchester wanted to change something up, I think they just need to play with a little bit more confidence, and maybe they'd stand a better chance. It's just really looking like a fundamentals difference and a confidence difference.
Confidence, some maybe quicker decision making.
Yeah, quicker decision making will never hurt.
Maybe quicker play sometimes might.
But I'm not seeing a lot of value on Manchester's defense with the Viper util. That's kind of what I was curious to see. The Viper walls are not looking ideal on the defensive side here, and that can really hurt you on a bind game.
Looks like their Viper wall cuts
Once
through
again-
showers.
Yes.
Okay. I see Knight's getting information right
Yes,
now.
Knight's getting information with the dimensional drift.
Gets the kill.
Easy kill on the Droopy. He's going to send it out with the fake here. And once again, just perfect pinch from
Yep.
TU. Absolutely overwhelming Manchester here.
Great utility use out of Tiffin.
Yes, very well. Tiffin's looking like a well-oiled machine. Let's go with that.
Good comms. We did use the fade ult there as well, correct?
Yes.
I saw
Yes,
a
we
lot
did.
of color
Yes.
on the ground.
Min's holding the lurk here. Perfect.
What a great
They
hold.
just a flawless round for Tiffin. I mean, they just
held all
looking
the right angles.
insanely good right now.
Now everything's purple. Nice little end around kill effects. You gotta love Riot Games
Very-
in there. In their
Yeah.
microtransactions. Gotta love them.
So now what'll be interesting is to see if Manchester can get anything done with the ults they have online. They're actually their Brim is one alt orb away from having ult, and then they all have ults. They could easily win the round off the back of a couple of well placed or well timed ults. We'll see if that gets them on the board, or if Tiffin's still gonna come out on top and keep the flawless streak going.
I do want to see Manchester use some ults here. And it looks like they did use the Viper on B. But Tiffin is
Here with
all the way in
2K,
A.
That is huge. Ooh, the rocket almost got Oni here. Hopefully they clear the
Surprised
smoke
it
still.
didn't.
I think Zeptic knows.
Only
with the
picking
kill
up
onto Mosey.
which means Zeptic definitely knows.
Yep. Excellent trade. But cool with another refrag. Manchester's trading is looking a little bit better this round, actually.
Viper coming up on the
Once
flank
again,
there, but
pulling for this
Mintmeister,
lurk. It is perfect.
you know,
I'm
I'm liking what
I'm
I'm
a little
seeing.
disappointed with the lack of alt usage on Manchester's side. They still hold on to 3 alts. They did use the Viper.
We are
ult.
coming up on. It's again nearing halftime, and they're holding these ults for a long time. We are.
Yeah, and generally speaking, in Valorant, you don't want to be holding onto your ult for too long. A lot of players get afraid to that they're not using them in the exact perfect situation. But in a game like Valorant, the perfect situation rarely comes up, and sometimes you're just better off using it to secure a kill or, a lot of the time secure a round. Rose is going to hold for this push, and it's a perfect 2K, looking clean there.
I do like the aggression on Manchester there.
It was good. It was a good effort. I definitely like to see it for the eco kills. Droopy ends up dropping Mosey.
But it does look like TU has control and taking control of
Yeah,
B.
they're gonna go ahead and plant B here,
And all that's left
and they're
is
just gonna get
Droopy.
pinched between Zeptic and Mint pretty easily. Once again, pretty clean from Tiffin.
Tiffin capitalizing on Manchester's positioning.
Yeah. And that was a really good read to hold for the A aggression. That was an insanely good read from Tiffin's side. Because that would be the play when you're Manchester. You know, you're down so many rounds. You want to try to get creative, try to do something that might be a little unexpected. But, you know, on the flip side for TU, you know, you're thinking, okay, they've been doing the same thing round after round after round. Surely they switch it up at some point, especially after a timeout gets called.
Some strategy's got to be talked about.
Of course.
Maybe a calm down.
Get a nice little Viper Orb line up here for U-Haul from Mint.
Like TU pushing, being aggressive in B again. They really like this B side.
Yeah, and
But they're really good on it,
They're
so.
unafraid of these Cypher trips, and I don't blame them actually because
We like it.
They're just looking clean. I mean, what can you do?
Shot by the Cypher drone or turret cam. That thing.
I was thinking Saint was going to go for the kill on his Uptick there. He had an opportunity to. Knight's clean
Just
with it.
the prediction.
Once again, Mint's up, gets the perfect space onto Omi.
Enemy remaining. Last
Saint
player
with the
standing.
3K.
Spike down B.
That was a
And now
good
it's-
trade out of Manchester there.
Yeah, a little sloppy though. A little bit of heroics from Saint there, but now we're in a Viper v Viper scenario. Over Mint's got ult, which definitely gives him a slight edge. He could, in theory, ult, grab the spike through that ult, and maybe run back through the TP potentially, and go play A. It's definitely a possibility. That's my prediction for maybe what's going to happen here. But we
30
see
seconds
Saint
left.
just tucking and hoping that he picks the right angle to hold.
He's just praying at this point.
Well, he's got the clock running in his favor. Mint's got to push here with enough time to spare to plant the spike. And like I said, yep, the ult comes out to grab the spike, but is he going to stick for the plant? I guess he's going to have to at this point. He's going to try to bait it first for the first tap. Huge kill from Mint, and once again, Tiffin keeps the flawless streak alive. This is looking incredible. Very smart play from Mint. Huge clutch. And we're
liking
looking
what I'm
at-
seeing from him.
Yeah,
He's holding those the flanks.
the discipline to play that clock. Really take advantage of every possible second. There is what separates good Valorant players from great Valorant players.
You just called him great. How kind. Another Viper lineup coming
Yep, we're gonna see that.
It looks
same
like
Orb lineup. Yep.
Manchester Rays is trying.
Once
to
again,
push us.
Knight's ulting up for information. Sees the Viper, sees the Cypher, and they're gonna back off. Oni gets the kill onto Mint. I think that's the
Unfortunately,
first time
shotgun
Manchester has been
does
up
work.
in player count for a round. Ooh, a little bit of overextension from Knight there from the looks of it. Droopy with the kill onto Zeptic. But the crazy thing is I still don't think this is unwinnable for Tiffin. I can still see it.
Looks like they're sticking B here.
Yeah, they're not going to be sure. When you're in a 2v5 like this, you're not going to be 100% sure if everyone's going to be stacked on this side or not. They're going to bait out the Brim ult. 9Z with the kill, and Manchester is on the board. I think that was just a little bit of lack of discipline on TU's side, if I'm going to be honest. Just a slight lack of discipline, but I don't think it's a big deal. It's really not a problem. When you're up this many rounds, you can get goofy, you can get crazy. You know, a lot of teams will, like I say, play psychological warfare. You know, you show the other team that you have all this confidence and that you're willing to do some crazy things to get around. You know, some teams back off on that and they respect that. And yeah.
Where are you?
Crazy. Got a little goofy there, but you know, sometimes you just have to.
I respect it.
We here at the broadcast team respect this.
Now, once again, Manchester's still holding on to some ults here. They got the Cypher ult for information, and then the Raze ult to maybe snag a kill. On the flip side for TU,
I think they just
got
pop them both.
we did just recently acquire Fade ult, which can be helpful. Fade ult can deafen an enemy team when they get hit by it. Huge kill from Oni on the Mint. Looks like they're going for that A execute. It's looking a little sloppy from TU's side. Manchester's actually got really good pacing on this rotate. Zeptic with a kill. Rain with a trade. Now the one thing is Tiffin doesn't have U-Haul control, which could be a bit of a problem. Because U-Haul control is very important to have for taking A site. And that Cypher ult's finally going to go out. They're going to have info. 9Z gets at least one.
That's actually a huge trade for a Cypher ult.
That was very good, actually. Knight with a kill on the range. They're going to have to hop off because of this Brim ult. This is a huge opportunity. Knight with the flash. Saint goes down. Attempt at the spray transfer. Huge round from Tiffin. Very well coordinated. Really love to see that.
It was looking
Switching
kind of a little rough at the beginning. I think Tiffin played it a bit too quick, and it gave Manchester time to rotate.
I don't even know if it was necessarily that. I think it was just, I think Manchester's finally like trying to keep up with Tiffin's pace. I think they were just getting outpaced that entire half, and I think that was the round where they finally showed that they can.
They press W.
They can press W. They can
They
match. They can
W
match
key.
Tiffin's pace a little bit, but we'll see if it's too little, too late for this map as we get into the second half here.
I do
Knight
think
with 17 and 3.
Manchester wants to keep this pace up, though.
They're gonna have to. This pistol round's gonna be everything for Manchester. If they lose this pistol round, it's looking like we're gonna end the map here pretty soon. If they lose that pistol.
Manchester seems to be pushing onto the B side.
Yep, they're gonna walk up long here.
Double swing out of Tiffin.
Spike
Bodies
down.
get traded. It's now a 3v3.
Everyone on Tiffin TP'd over to the B site.
Yeah, and this could be a problem. Saint's holding for it. He might be good for one here. He does get Zeptic. 9Z's got to break this trip, so now they're going to know where he's at. And Tiffin's looking a little scattered here.
Looks like Mosey going back through spawn. Manchester has A site pretty well held right now.
There could be a possibility for a wall bang here. I don't think Mosey's going to go for it,
Spike
though.
planted. Last player standing.
Kua gets the kill on the Mosey. And now 9Z's left in a 1v3.
We believe in Joe.
Always have, always will. He's just going to play it super disciplined here. He has a Sheriff, which means that he can body shot the Cypher. Ooh.
Unfortunately,
He gets the kill. Manchester gets the pistol round. That keeps them alive in this map a little bit longer.
that was a tough 3 characters to try to retake site from.
Yeah. Especially when it's pistol round, you know, you lack a lot of the utility you usually have on the buy rounds. But not too bad. I think the flash B long was not mistimed, but misthrown from the looks of it. It didn't look like any of the Manchester players were blind. I think if that flash did blind the Manchester players, we would have seen a much different story in the way that that round played out. But I don't think Tiffin's sweating one bit. Not at all.
We got Knight pulling out the Bucky here.
Ooh, huge nade play. Sees nade.
Celtics got some good nade lineups right now.
And that nade can be devastating when combined with the fade C's, because that C's keeps the enemies in place if they get hit by it, and that nade just deals incredible damage. That's a really huge opening to have. And Zeptic gets another kill on Akua. That is huge. Manchester might be sweating a little bit here now. They have the weapon advantage, but these Sheriffs can prove devastating in the right hands, and Tiffin is showing that they have the right hands.
Mosey already holding this angle.
Yep, just there for info. He's going to back off of that now that he's spotted. But Manchester's going to wait and try to play a rotate. They have 50 seconds to play with here. But Zeptic's looking like he might have a read on this. Ooh, it was looking like there was going to be some good positioning.
Still
he's
have
going to go
Knight
through
up
cave.
here with the Bucky.
Yes, but unfortunately, Knight has no way to get out of this predicament if after he
30
makes
seconds
contact.
left.
So he can realistically might only be good for one here, but they're not even going to clear U-Haul. That's incredible from Manchester. They're going to look for another
That was
pick
a
from the looks of it.
risky-
And now we're in a standoff.
That's a risky play right there.
But Manchester's going to have to make some noise. They're going to have to get that spike down if they want to
Spike planted.
have a chance at this round. That spike's going to go down, and TU's going to call the rotate.
Tiffin having U-Haul control and Zeptic on this flank.
Yeah,
here.
not only that, but
And Mosey.
Manchester's doubled up in pocket there, which is going to be kind of a problem. It's very easy to get pinched. Zeptic with the 2K. Will Zeptic get the ace? No. 9Z yoinks the ace away from Zeptic, but
Vote kick.
beautiful round for Tiffin. Beautiful round.
Concerning positioning out of Manchester there.
Yeah,
They
their
all-
post-plant positioning was lacking.
They all huddled up.
Yeah. I think they needed to have U-Haul control or at least get some info to at least know somebody was in U-Haul just to maybe plan that out a little bit better. But match point for Tiffin University here. They're going to buy up all the Bulldogs.
This forces Manchester into a bye as well.
Yes, yes. They're going to have a significant weapon disadvantage having to force up. They don't really have a choice, though. They've only got, in theory, 1 round left to play with if they don't win it.
Now, does that still hit if it's all the way up there, or?
Yeah, so the Fade Eye goes off of line of sight, so if you can see it, it can see you, and it will tag you. It does have a range technically, but it's so big that it basically doesn't matter. Definitely on the rotate spots Kua and immediately flicks right onto the head.
Did pick up 2, however.
Enzy's getting the info here. Manchester did pick up the pace on the B here. This is going to be an interesting retake from the side of Tiffin.
We got Zeptic coming up. From
Zeptic coming in fast.
Flank
Coming in hot.
angle once again.
He's going to have a beautiful timing onto this. Uh-oh, 1 HP.
1 HP clutch.
I think he can still get one. Ooh, Rain takes him down.
He's got the info for him, though.
Manchester has numbers here to play with. If they don't over-peak too much, odds are looking good for them.
They do have the Viper in hookah as well. Not anymore.
Min with a kill on the Saint. And it was traded out pretty quickly from Manchester. Honestly, very good effort from Tiffin. Manchester stays alive once again.
1 more round.
1 more round.
But Tiffin did opt to buy Bulldogs or keep them.
And Manchester's calling another timeout. I mean, this is actually kind of smart from them because, you know, you only have so many timeouts per map, and regardless of if they might be thinking that they're going to lose this map anyways and just not care, but it's worth calling a timeout just because Valorant's a very momentum based game. Anything can change at any time. I've seen games that are 2-10 at the half, and that team that only had 2 rounds on the first half ends up coming back, winning in overtime and winning the map. So Valorant's one of them games that just it can swing a lot and very fast and very unexpectedly. But I'd be curious to see what they're trying to do. Maybe they're going to call a specific protocol or a specific plan for their site hit. But
Now
they're on thin ice.
This could also be a moment where they just try something completely new.
Yeah.
They already know it's 312. The map's not looking too hot right now.
Yeah.
So maybe they just try something completely different and see how it fares against Tiffin University.
And that timeout could have even just been a mental check. Odds are looking pretty good that from the Manchester side they're going to lose that first map, and now they're going to have to claw the series back. If you're looking at it from their perspective, and so maybe it's just a moment to breathe and say, look, it's just the first map. We've got potentially 2 more to play. We at the very least have 1 more to play.
Night holding long with the operator.
Huge op kill. Yoru's a great agent to op on because he has those teleporters, and so if he fights an angle and gets 1, and especially against an experienced team that can trade, those are the kill in showers. It's huge.
Great
2
from Tiffin with Knight going through the portal.
And this is looking clinical from the side of TU. This is just looking absolutely clean and devastating. And that's going to be it. 13-3 going in TU's favor.
Round to end the match. End the map.
Yes. Very good.
I like what I saw.
I did. I knew TU was going to be coming out swinging. Those fundamentals were looking insanely good. You can't beat it. Look at that.
19-5 from
19-5. Almost a 4.0 KD. 7 first bloods. That just goes to show how much impact he had on the game. When you get those first bloods, those are some high impact kills, and he was good for it.
Zeptic
basically every time.
10, Mintmeister 11-6, Mosey 11-9,
Excellent
9Z
here.
11-6. I give a shout out to the freshman Mintmeister. He held those.
He had very good timings on his
Very
lurks.
good
Very good info for the team to have.
Very patient. For the first map I'm seeing from him,
I think my 2-0 prediction's gonna be right.
I think-
going off
I
that,
think the
you know, going off
2-0
that,
just-
you
I
know?
think the 2-0 prediction's
It's looking
there.
good.
I think somebody else thinks that too. What are we at about during the timeout? That's a good question. Anonymous person in the distance.
Anonymous person.
We talked about. I forgot. Watch the VOD. Subscribe today. Or don't watch the VOD. I don't care what you do. Okay. Our Valorant players are very good.
very, very.
Let's get
very
that score
personal,
updated.
You know?
Wait, that should
Hey,
be a 1.
there. Oh, I'm going the
Oh,
wrong way too.
that should be a 1.
Yeah.
That's Torb right there. That's Winton. Wait, that's Winton.
He kind of blends in back here. I'm not gonna lie.
Winston?
It's a little hard. It's a little hard to see on the camera. You can only see the white parts of him.
We do love Winston. So that was a what? 13 to
13-3. 13-3 in favor of TU there.
Good.
Score should be updated shortly.
We'll get there.
There it is. There it is. Hey, I'm
We'll get
timing
there.
that excellently.
Wow, you should like play Valorant or something. Your timing is great. Also, Valorant TM. Gotta get the trademark.
Yeah,
in.
gotta get the trademark here. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what they have about during halftime. Do we know next map, or have we not decided?
I
Is
think
that
Haven,
something-
right? Haven?
Something later.
I think it's Haven, right?
Hold on, give me like 2 seconds.
I think it's Haven and then Decider's Ascent, I want to say.
Are these maps
I have
predetermined?
I
Do
have
we
a
know?
memory. Yeah. Yeah, it's hey, I was right. I have a memory.
Good memory. Current Haven, pass, bind, Haven,
I don't know if
Ascent.
we have any info offhand about who picked what map. I'm pretty sure Manchester picked Bind because that's a map.
We don't. Favor?
TU historically doesn't favor
Appreciate
at least the past couple of seasons. I know in the past that
A new
Bind-
season, we're a bind team.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. Hey,
just I'll.
it's a very
I'll say-
very promising start. I mean, to play
We're
a
the
map
bind
to play
team
it, to
now.
play a map that a team might not necessarily be the most comfortable on and come out with that strong of a showing. I mean, that's just good news for TU. Very good news.
What are we thinking about Haven up next?
So, Haven can be interesting because there's a lot of comps that you can play that can work. I've seen like Neon Breach to play like a really aggressive setup. Breach is starting to fall pretty heavily out of the meta though in recent times, but you do still occasionally see him on Haven. You can see I've even seen some teams play like an ISO Yoru comp. I've seen I would say those are the two that I can see off the top of my head. Usually your staple agents, you usually always have an Omen, you always have a Cypher, and you always have a Sova. Those just tend to be the 3 agents that are picked basically always on the map. I'm sure there's a couple of professional teams or even other collegiate teams that maybe deviate a little bit from that. But because of the map's got 3 bomb sites, you need a lot of information, and that's where Sova and Cypher come in. And then Omen just has a very wide smoke range. He can smoke essentially across the map and very quickly, very efficiently. You also have his Paranoia, which is the best ability, one of the best abilities in Valorant, really.
Still up there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta love to see it. So
Um,
Haven's the one with the 3 sites.
Yes. Yes.
How many 3-site maps are there? Have they added any more?
So we have Haven and Lotus are really
Lotus,
just the only 2. Lotus is a bit different because it's got some revolving doors that you can take to get in between sites.
I've seen some gameplay. I would never want to play on it. I don't know what the community feels like about Lotus, but I can say no.
Yeah. I don't know. Ask the community how they feel about Breeze, and they'll have some pretty strong opinions. Trust me.
Feel like just like Overwatch, the amount of liked maps is very small.
Yeah. Or if you're a Rainbow Six player, you definitely have like a small map pool of like objectively
You just have,
good
like,
maps
3
to choose from. Yeah. And if there's any R6 players out there, look, I'm sorry, House.
We are sorry for you.
House is we're sorry for you for other reasons, but you know, House is my favorite map personally. You know, it's competitively not balanced, but
I have
it's a fun
about
map.
2 hours on console Rainbow Six, and that is all I need in my life. I just need the 2.
But yeah, with Haven having the 3 bomb sites, information's crucial, especially when you're playing defense. On the flip side, if you're on attack, lurking is incredible. You have a lot of space to lurk and work the map. So I'll be curious to see, especially from Mint was the lurk on TU side. I'll be curious to see Mint's lurks here on Haven. Assuming he is playing that role.
He's very patient, so
yes.
lurking kind of works for him.
Yes, and I will say, being patient or not on your lurking really kind of depends on the team you're going up against. So some teams are really good at isolating you if you're lurking and punishing you, especially if you lurk in kind of a predictable manner. And what I mean by that is that if your timing on your lurks is like roughly the same, so like on Haven, if you're lurking garage like 20 seconds into the round at the start of the round, every round, you can get red pretty quickly off that, and then they're just gonna do like a mid pinch on you.
You mean if I do the same thing over and over again,
yeah,
they can read that? That's how I play all my video games.
And so it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, Haven's got a decent variety of comps. You have Jet that's viable, you have Neon that's viable on the duels. You even have Yor that's viable, ISO's viable. So there's a lot of creativity with Haven, other than you really like as far as your duelists and your one initiator is concerned. I will say there's really not a lot of creativity with the other roles. Like I said, basically everyone plays Cypher, everyone plays Omen, everyone plays Sova on that map. It just makes the most sense.
Gotta love the defaults.
Now I'll be curious to see on Manchester side if they run a Sky again. Sky has also fallen pretty heavily out of favor in the meta.
I didn't really like what I saw.
Yeah,
I mean the utility of Sky on the last map.
Yeah, and like I said, when we were in that bind game, Sky gives you a lot of soft info. You just have an idea of roughly where somebody is, but when you don't have that pinpoint info, it can be a little bit harder. And I would argue even more so on a map like Haven, where there are a lot of angles to try to clear on the attack side. When you're taking some of these sites. So
interesting. We will see very shortly. At least Tiffin is just now getting back to score's gone. Getting back to their seats. We'll see how long. How long is intermission usually? I know Valorant's pretty long.
It can be about 10 minutes or so, give or take.
I know Valorant. Their matches can be pretty long, so usually you have a bit of a break in between.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, Valorant's such a mentally intensive game that I argue it's well deserved, pretty well deserved.
Honestly,
not you Overwatch players where you just mindlessly heal, mindlessly tank, mindlessly.
Literally did that all.
I played DPS in Overwatch before. I just hold left click on soldier and call it a day.
I don't know what to tell you.
I practice my tracking in aim labs, Kovacs, whatever. Hope for the best.
Yeah, I played.
I played video games. That's all I'm saying.
Juno for most of the last semester, and
you know what I watched you do? I watched you hold left click and 80, and just dodge bullets.
Yep, I dodged those bullets, and I did not need a rapid switch keyboard to do it.
All right, shade back at me.
I'm throwing shade.
I see.
It is probably a good investment for most games, and I would not buy it though.
Wooting keyboards are the best. Hashtag not a sponsor.
Hashtag not.
I really like them. I could go over. If only I could leave the frame real quick, and I have my own custom Wooting keyboard that I could.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
We don't roll like that here.
If you're gonna do that, I'm gonna go home and get my custom mouse pad that is my face stretched across.
Okay. W.
Still the best mouse pad ever. Not because it's good It's not a good mouse pad. It's just me.
You're the improvement.
I'm the improvement. Everyone who uses it gets at least 14 kills in
at
Valorant.
least 14. I love how the number is very specific.
You only get 14, actually.
No, what he means is you get 14 deaths and 3 kills you pie.
What?
And that's...
I'm not that bad.
That's bad. That's a problem.
I played some Valorant. Not much, though.
Everyone pies at some point in their career. It's a canon event. You cannot interfere with it.
I wish I could go and look at my Overwatch history to see if I've ever hit the 3.14.
Or you reverse pie, 413.
413. That's unfortunate.
I've seen plenty of those.
I've seen plenty of those in my day. That is, yeah. I'm excited for this.
You have Ascent spelled wrong, Mr. Producer Man. You have Accent as the map. for the decider.
Whoa, look at it. It's right there.
accent.
It's right there.
I
Hold
guess
on,
we do
I'll
an
track it.
accents now.
I track it. Dude, my tracking's insane.
Your tracking IRL is insane.
Sign me. Hold on. Crater typed it.
ASCENT, Mr. Producer Man.
Crater typed in chat. This is probably like 5 years ago since we're on delay. Wish this was console Valorant. Format is 10 times better. Trust. And
That is a diabolical comment. I'm not even gonna lie.
to be fair, I agree with him.
ASCENT, yes.
Welcome back to first grade
Spell check-
English.
Spell check
everyone.
is free, bro.
We're just gonna replace you with ChatGPT. I'm just kidding. AI dumb.
We're gonna replace ourselves with cardboard cutouts of ourselves that are
And then we're gonna have
poorly
AI voice.
photoshopped. Yes.
Yes.
AI screen.
And it's not even gonna be my voice. I'm gonna have Carl replace my
Oh,
voice.
okay.
But we're gonna say
Okay.
it's me. Who do you want? Any current or present or past?
I gotta-
two
I
of those
gotta-
were the same thing.
I honestly, I sometimes I'm down to embrace my inner J Rob. Like,
Dude, we need to
It's
bring
there.
back the J-Rob. For one Overwatch match, I will get it. I will get the Carl J-Rob casting duo for back. I mean, they did Valorant, so like maybe they can come
Yeah.
back this semester too.
see it.
Both are real adults now and have jobs, so that's boring. Come cast Valorant.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate.
It is Friday nights though, so like as long as they're not on second shift, they're good.
Yeah.
They can come do this virtually.
Doable.
No, I'll get one, man.
J Rob just doing a casual 3-hour drive down here. You know,
No, I would tell him to do it on Discord.
insane that I low key would not be surprised. You know.
Yeah. Welcome to the in-game lobby. Welcome to us. We see the in-game lobby. I don't even know what we're seeing anymore.
Looks like we're
Looks like
Still taking some time.
One of TU's players has dipped for Pop Polar. Is that B1?
yes, it is.
We are big fans of Polar Pop here. Not an ad. We are giving
You know, don't want Circle K coming at us, so we had to change. You know, Pop Polar.
Pop
you
Polars.
know, gotta
We love Pop Polar.
gotta parody it. You know, a little bit.
Yep.
Parodies under the fair use rights.
Now, still waiting on the map, but you know,
Yeah, still getting some stuff situated with the lobby.
like you said, very taxing mentally.
Yeah.
Not as much as Overwatch though. You know, you guys have it easy. But it's a well-deserved.
Do we have
break.
any questions, any comments in the chat?
Yeah, you got any questions 90 seconds from now? Chat. We need like dynamic stream delay.
That'd be kind of sick.
So like intermission, we can just like
that would be pretty cool.
it'd be weird because like the timings.
Yeah,
But like if somebody can figure that one out,
that would be.
let me talk to chat
pretty
real
sick.
time. All right, we got the guy who figured it out. Don't
Our
say
producer who spelled
it. He did
ascend wrong
He
says he
spelled
has an
this
idea.
wrong,
He says he has an
but
idea.
he has the idea. We're not going to tell you because we're going to sell it for $50 a month.
a month. Oh, we're getting on the subscription service train. I see.
Duh.
Okay. And then there's an AI Pro premium plan for $100 a month.
And then you can add on 2 terabytes of cloud storage
Oh,
for some
okay,
reason.
Yeah.
We don't even.
And the cloud storage is actually hosted behind a dial-up modem, so you're probably
really
never getting
slow.
access to your information ever.
What?
I'll just turn this down.
That is our NA producer who spelled this word wrong, by the way.
Yeah. Reminder.
We will, whenever it
Spell
comes
check
up,
alert.
we're reminding it.
Anytime we say accent now, we're gonna say accent.
Accent. Welcome back to Accent, everyone. TU Accent. We got
My
we got Minty
first-
Fresh and Accent.
Yeah.
We're doing great on day 1 of
Oh,
broadcast.
absolutely.
Oh, hello roster. We got Knight. We got 9Z. That's the wrong. We don't know who Jello is. Jello was lost in the void. We got Mosey.
lost in
He's
the
still
Jello.
there. Ooh, okay. Then we got Zeptic. He has some good nades. I liked him. Then we got Mintmeister or Minty Fresh.
Petition.
The new.
Petition to change Mintmeister's name to Minty Fresh.
Yeah, honestly,
Change.org.
We'll be launching a change.org here soon.
I think
after
I
the
could convince
broadcast.
him. I think I could convince him. Or at least his alt account. It would be pretty fun.
True,
You know?
because we all know everyone in Valorant
Yes,
has 14
everyone
accounts.
at the end of the day. All right,
Welcome
hey, we're in the
to
map. Let's go.
The agent select screen on Haven.
Okay, this is very interesting from the side of Manchester. This is something I haven't seen before. Running Viper on Haven.
You know what I said about that timeout? Their second timeout last, where they're just going to try something completely different. This is it. This is the time. They were listening to me. I'm Butternose. I am the coach. I'm telling them.
Now,
this.
my concern for Manchester here is that what do you do on retake with your Viper? You know, that's like an agent you really don't have a lot of good retake utility on, unless you save the wall for retake. But historically, most Viper players don't do that.
I feel like it would be kind of a soft throw, maybe even a hard throw, if you just save the wall for retake. But from what I'm seeing with the comp, might be the only play.
And Saint on the chamber, I mean, I could see maybe some things getting done with that, but on the flip side, TU running ISO and Yoru, so Yoru can get up in that space. Chamber's very good at a distance. His kit, he excels at long range engagement, and TU, really, if you think about it, has the perfect counter for somebody like Chamber. They've got the Yoru with flashes and teleports to be able to get up and take that space that Chamber thinks he has. And on top of that, you have ISO. So Chamber's ultimate is an operator. Basically, it lets him one-shot somebody with a gun.
But the ISO shield.
Yes, but
How is ISO shield? Last time I casted/watched Valorant was when we had
busted ISO meta.
we had the busted ISO and we had Beto. I forgot what name he was using. I think it was a lung collapser at the time.
Yes.
And that was a very interesting character.
Yes. So
how are we looking now?
So ISO's still pretty strong. You do actually see teams in pro play run him occasionally. This is one of the maps you see him on. I've actually even seen ISO. I've even seen a pro team play ISO on Bind. Believe it or not,
So
ISO can still be good. It's just the problem with ISO is that, again, kind of the same argument you can make for Chamber is like you lose a little bit of utility because all of ISO's utility is basically for himself, other than his vulnerable.
I will say, having a player like Jello on ISO, very good value on.
Oni gets the frag on the Knight. And Manchester's up at the start of a round.
It looks like TU's Omen is sticking a little bit longer than the rest
Saint
of the team.
with an excellent read on this lurk from Mint. And that's where things can get tricky trying to lurk on attack. Is if they have a good read, they can get you pretty easily. But Tiffin's doing an excellent job clearing the space. Saint has no idea that he just got walked up on through Garage. Nine's out with the frag on Kua. Huge. And TU's actually going to get the plant down to, admittedly, my surprise. Manchester's given him a lot of respect on the space here. Two of the Manchester players are low HP, but so are two of the TU players. So this is anyone's round. Saint with the frag on Mosey. Zeptic with the shock dart. That's massive.
Last player standing.
And now TU's
One
left in a
enemy remaining.
1v2 here. Can Saint clean it up? Or will Zeptic gets the 4K. That is a devastating round to lose if you are Manchester. Starting the round off strong for them, and TU just
It was a
clutches it out.
strong start, but honestly, the turning point might have been when Saint got walked past. The
Yeah,
timing
the
might have
timing.
hurt him there.
Absolutely does, and that's where you would be looking for a Chamber trip to maybe have some info for there. I don't know if actually he had a trip at all. That
It might have been just early round.
yeah, it could
early game.
It could have been. I might have missed it, but
Either didn't
Zeptic
didn't
came
buy
in
one.
incredibly clutch for Tiffin here.
What a lineup! I've never seen that.
That's a pretty standard garage dart. Gives you a lot of info for this mid present. Saint's gonna go for this challenge, but I think he's gonna get Omen blinded here. Pretty fast.
Blinded.
Rosie with a beautiful TP. What a play. Saint goes down, and Tiffin's going to easily take the C site here.
It looks like Manchester's taking a different approach to retakes. Not all of them.
Look how behind Manchester's Omen is on this rotate. Too.
Yeah,
That can be a
I'm
bit of a
kinda
problem because
concerned
now,
about that.
Yeah, because now Manchester's got to kind of wait for everybody to get together and get into position here. Manchester looks like they might just be playing exit frags here, so they're just looking to deal damage. I think they've already accepted that this round is a loss, being at a weapon disadvantage here, so they're just going to try to deal as much damage as possible. Mint with a huge kill on Rain.
Again, with those the flank holds.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
even if
just-
you
he's
even if
ready
you have,
for him.
even if you have trips, sometimes you know, especially when you're up numbers, go ahead and hold the flank. It doesn't hurt. Build your KD. Septic's gonna get a swing out on Nakua and take him down pretty easily, and Manchester's gonna go ahead and deliberately die to Spike. Now this is a smart move because if you stay alive in the round, you don't get any credits going into the next round. So it's better for your weapon economy to do that. That's why they're doing that. But as we can see,
Glad you clarified. I would have.
for all you non-Valorant players
I
out
would have
there,
thought differently. It does make sense.
but we can see that Zeptic is 1 point away from his ult after that massive 4K and getting that additional frag on round 2. So they could easily win this bonus round.
A
if-
round 3 Sova ult will be.
Yeah, that could easily win them the round. And that's huge. Saint trying to play top B site here. He has to fall off with his first shot. And Tiffin's just going to scale. They're just going to take the space. They're just going to completely disrespect Manchester. Manchester's picking it up on the pace a little bit, though. Knight goes down to the Viper Molly. And Manchester's going to flood this. You looking at a bit of a disadvantage here. Kua with a 4K. Is he going to get an ace? Are we going to have our first ace? Ooh.
They
again,
do
so
like
close.
stealing the
Yeah.
aces. I will say the early aggression out of Tiffin looked good, but then the utility from Viper, I think,
Yes.
that wall just kind of
Yes.
shut them down, and then Manchester was able to take the aggression back.
I mean, we got to give a little credit to Kua there with an impressive 4K. I mean, that's just
Of
gonna
course.
that's just gonna win rounds regardless of what you do. But I think it was a little bit, maybe a little bit too fast from Tiffin. I think they did a really good job in the last map playing a default and getting Manchester kind of overwhelmed with information. We're gonna see an early dart out from Manchester here to reveal the attacking side. And once again, it looks like Tiffin's just going to go for something quick and fast.
They do have
they
Sova
stole a
all
fake
up
here.
now.
This fake works out perfectly. It perfectly baits out Rain's Sova drone. So they ran a fake just to try to bait out some util from the defending team. That is a very valid strategy. You'll see a lot of teams do. They'll go somewhere aggressive early on in the round. And look at this spacing that Mint has. He is absolutely up the C site. The question is will he catch the Yoru? Oh, Oni gets the frag onto Mint. It was a solid effort. But now look, Tiffin's going to run back to A. They're hoping that the kill onto Mint tells them that maybe it's not an A hit. Now Tiffin's looking like they're trying to figure out what they want to do. I think they're giving Manchester a lot of time to realize that it is a fake, and some rotates here. Huge coordination on the utility here. Gunfight's looking a little sloppy there, but
It was a little
but
rough,
they
but you
managed.
know,
Hey, Tiffin's
30
got the
seconds
sight.
left.
he got the trade.
And they once again they have that Sova
Spike
that could
planted.
win them this round realistically. That is if
Last player
Septic can get
standing.
in a good spot to use it. It looks like that's not going to be the case. He's
I-
going to be overwhelmed with utility here, and Saint cleans it up, and Manchester ties it up.
Looks like Manchester found their pacing, how they like to retake now.
Yeah, I think they're realizing that I think maybe between our maps here, maybe they had a conversation and said we're giving these guys too much respect. We're better than this, and it's showing already. Like that alone can be huge.
I do think as well, Tiffin is not looking as clean or connected as they were on the first map.
Yeah, I agree.
A little too aggressive sometimes.
Which is surprising because Haven for TU has historically been a really solid map for many seasons now. So that is a little weird to see. Once again, we got that early dart. Looks like we have a C split push here coming up on the eco. See if Tiffin can get some work done with these sheriffs and this Bucky. The problem with taking the C side is that there's so many players on the Manchester side here already, and they don't really have a lot of util other than, well, really an ISO ult and a solo ult. So they're going to commit that ISO ult. They pull the guy on logs, and it looks like it's Saint. Saint goes down. Excellent kill. Excellent second kill from Zeptic here. And Knight's here with the Bucky. Goes
Unfortunately,
down.
goes down.
But Mint's here on the pinch. If Mosey and 9Z can stay alive long enough, this pinch could come in. Rain's going to say no. and swing. Get that kill. So 9Z is going to give a little bit of space, try to bait a little bit for Mint. And now Mint's stuck in a 1v2, but it's very winnable. The Sheriff can do huge damage to the body.
One enemy
There's
remaining.
one. There's the second one. Mint with the 2K. Absolutely huge. Very good timing on that lurk. It was looking a little dangerous. It was looking a little scary, but it worked out beautifully.
And that gives Mint his ult.
Yes.
So now Tiffin has a great opportunity for information off of one pick.
I will say the ult economy is looking a little bit more in favor of Manchester. They're a little bit closer to some of these alts. They have a Viper ult and a Yoru ult. That's probably their two most impactful alts on the team. So Manchester's actually looking still pretty
a Viper
pretty in it.
ult this round. Just blind prediction.
Blind prediction.
Yep.
There it is. There's the Viper ult on C.
Look at me go.
But I think Tiffin had kind of a read a little bit and decides to go for the mid fight.
Knight
Droopy
getting
takes
picked
down-
out again with that aggression.
Yeah.
He's kind of going before his teams there.
Yeah, I think it's looking a little rough there. Maybe a little bit too individualistic, if that's a word.
It can be.
We'll make it a word.
We're changing.
But
everything.
Tiffin's creeped into this B space pretty nicely here. And Tiffin's got really strong post-plant positioning. Mosey with an excellent kill onto Droopy. And now we're in a 4v4 retake. That Viper ult's going to go down because the Viper's going to be leaving. Rain might get overwhelmed here off of this push. And Saint's here holding a really close angle with an op. That can be risky. Mosey goes and takes out Rain pretty nicely. Saint's going to pick up that Vandal. Spraying a bit of a whiff there. Mosey with 3. Mosey finally goes down to Oni. It's a 2v2, but they have that Sova ult. Here's where I say it can have some very good impact. Zeptic takes down Oni with the Sova ult. Absolutely huge. But that Viper wall is just too good. That Viper wall actually came in pretty handy, and Kua clutches it out.
Yeah, good Viper wall coming out of Manchester. Mosey had
some good impact.
Great impact that round. Very good kills and very good decision making out of him as well.
I kind of wish Tiffin would have maybe flooded out A link a little bit and fought that a little bit harder. Maybe less bodies would have went down on the side of TU if that was the case. But other than that, it was a close round.
I believe if they can tone down the aggression from Knight, at least from the separation to his team,
Yeah,
we'll get a lot more progress.
I agree. It's looking a little disjointed.
Mosey seems to be sticking mid here. Gonna go for another look.
And
possibly?
what's nice that TU is taking advantage of is the fact that because Manchester has a Viper Wall, they're able to get that 8 orb for free every round. They just grab it when the Viper Orb's up, and that can help TU's ult economy significantly.
Manchester has a pretty strong A hold right now.
They do. And I think they're just going to play off of maybe some trades here. I was kind of wishing that Saint would maybe look at mid a little bit harder and get some info there. Knight in with the TP, huge kill. 9Z with the follow-up on the opening kill. Good opening for Tiffin.
I know exactly.
Oni gets the trade on the 9Z.
Cypher ult coming out from Tiffin gives them the info they need to get a better hold onto this side.
Yeah, info to play this retake perfectly. Droopy takes down Mosey. Mosey did take out Saint. This is an Omen blind. This is an effort from Manchester to go for this retake, and it's just too strong, the post-plant positionings for Tiffin. I mean, once they're in sight, they are in there. They are entrenched.
They had site control. They had
Yeah.
Cypher info, and also what I noticed, when Knight TP'd in, Tiffin was ready for the follow-up.
Yeah.
So maybe
The
they talked.
Pacing there looked
The
better.
pacing
definitely.
was really good there.
And Manchester's now forced to save. This could be where Tiffin starts to claw a little bit of momentum, and that, when you're Manchester, that's looking scary. However, Saint does have his chamber op online, has his ultimate, so he could get some work done with that.
Has 3 ults.
And they are stacking the C site on this eco. That is very interesting. That drone's going to get the chamber spotted. Saint with the frag onto Knight. You definitely are happy with that if you're Manchester. Knight was looking demonic
Great pick
in the
for,
last map.
for an eco round. That
Yeah, absolutely. Mosey's going to go in with the Omen blind and the TP.
they
Look,
were
who was in
just
a good
ready
spot.
for it.
Now, if you're on the side of Tiffin, this is a little concerning. Maybe they weren't fully expecting this C stack. But once again, I think there was a little bit too many individual plays. Looking a little sloppy from the Tiffin side. Never underestimate the eco rounds. And I really like this play from Manchester. That was a excellent strategy from them. And now it's a 5v2 fight. Make that 5v1. And now this is looking like
Maybe
an
a
unwinnable round.
save angle from 9Z here.
That's what I'm thinking. He might go for one just to deal damage, but even then, he's already got his ult. So at this point, it's just farming stats. Good shot onto Oni there.
Hey, we respect the stat farm.
Hey, yeah, anytime. And
30 seconds
looks like
left.
Saint's in a position to maybe catch 9Z off guard here on this off angle. And 9Z's gonna back up into spawn and probably just chill there. Actually, hold that thought. Saint's in a spot to hold this. 9Z just a little clean with it. He does have maybe just barely enough time to plant. This actually might not be a save after all. He at least, okay, he won't have time, but he could have in theory planted and gotten some money for the team. But hey, what a round for Manchester. Gotta give it to him there.
Probably overall better that he saved.
Someone dies.
Yeah, the money's looking a little bit rough for the side of TU, so it was definitely good that 9Z saved here. And yeah, Manchester's actually looking pretty solid this game. They look like they've come to life.
Manchester has 3 ults ready with Oni being 1 away compared to Tiffin's 2, and no one else is close to theirs. So I like to see how Manchester uses
once
these
again,
ults.
I was surprised to see Saint not pop his ultimate. Looks like this is the round he's going to do that. There it is.
Who's next?
And TU's going to go again for this C execute. Knight's going to go in with the info, and they're going to combine it with the ISO ult
No
to
distraction.
yoink that Omen out of the universe and into 9Z's own world here. Gets the kill onto Droopy. The Sova ult's going to come in to try to deal some damage to the Tiffin side.
Good TP by Mosey to get out of that.
Yeah. Oni with the frag onto Knight here.
Spike planted.
Once again, Tiffin's so clean with the post-plant positionings. Manchester does have your ult to get info on where the post-plant's going to be. I'm expecting to be using it.
Stealing sight. I'll handle this.
There it is. There's the Yoru ult. He's going to get all the info for the team. A little spray by Mosey trying to get some work done. And huge kills from the TU side. And it's just too good. 9Z with the 4K. Massive round for Tiffin. That was looking hardly winnable for them. And they just came out on top.
Some great cleanup out of Tiffin there.
Yeah, absolutely huge. 9Z just zoned in there. Looking clean with it.
Two
And if you're
ults popped
Manchester,
from
that's
Manchester
That's
that
a
round.
painful round to lose if you're Manchester. I mean, they had weapon advantage, they had ult advantage, they had every reason to win that round, realistically.
They are able to buy again, however. They do have weapons.
Who with the kill? But it's traded. Lots of bodies dropping. We're now in a 3v3 scenario. Mint's got space and grass. Gets the kill onto Saint. And now it's just Manchester's Yoru player, Oni, left alone on the A site. This could be very problematic. But if Tiffin gives ones...
One enemy remaining.
Okay, there's the refrag. It's now a 2v1 for Tiffin here.
Spike planted.
Free A control coming out from Tiffin on the A site.
Droopy's got enough utility, though, that realistically he could clutch it if he really wanted to. The Sova drone already went out from the side of TU, so they're going to be lacking some info. I don't know if Zeptic has Dart ready yet or not. The Cypher Cage makes noise when you swing through it, so now they know that he's around there.
One enemy
Droopy
remaining.
gets the 1, and now he's got to try to clear out all this space. Zeptic has it in the bag.
Does not clear the angle again. Probably did not expect them both to be there.
Yeah, would not expect to be doubled up there.
That's when we strike.
But sometimes you gotta get a little goofy.
Yeah, a
you
little
know?
goofy. It works.
Tiffin pulled out the goofy hold there, and
And
Made it work.
Tiffin's now looking really good on the state of their ults. They are 1 away on 4 players there for ults. Whereas Manchester realistically is only going to get this Viper ult out for the half. So Tiffin could have up to 4 ults between these 2 rounds, which is huge. They could run away with this half just off the back of that.
Yeah, that also forced Manchester into another eco round. Not gonna have weapons to be on.
Yeah, if you're so the ISO ult's gonna go out. It gets nothing, but that's okay. That's still info that at least tells the side of TU that nobody's on site. And Manchester's gonna go for a full retake here.
It's gonna be
Spike
tough
planted.
with that.
It really is.
With the
Their
lineup.
success rate hasn't been super high on these retakes, and even when they were successful, it's come close.
I do like that Manchester got the flank angle early.
Yes, the pinch from the side of Manchester is actually looking pretty decent, but Zeptic's going to take care of that real fast. There's a follow-up lurk, though, over on Oni. 9Z with the 2K. Very clean. And now it's a 2v4. The clock's ticking. Manchester's looking like they're going to bow out of this round. 9Z with the 3K. Just farming that ISO ult. Very good round from Tiffin.
Not as clean as a pinch as Tiffin has shown,
Last
Yeah.
round in the half.
but it was good setup.
It was a good effort. I mean, when you're backs against the wall, so to speak, as far as the weapons go, you know, you do what you can, and it was a solid effort for Manchester, but Tiffin's just too strong right now.
Had the
But,
momentum, had the guns, had the
yeah,
site
everything in their
control.
favor there. But if you're Manchester, you're looking to at the very least get this round, because if it's a 5-7 half and you win pistol on the second half, you have yourselves a tie game there more than likely. So they're probably really looking to get this round in the bag, and they're going to pop that Viper ult. Oni's going to run it down mid. This is some aggression I haven't seen from Manchester too much. I
best
like
skin
this.
in the game right there, the Smite Vandal.
I like the confidence for Manchester on the individual play, not afraid to do some stuff. That's what Knight's really good at. On the side of TU, the Yoru player over there, he's really good at just not being afraid to take space himself. And Tiffin's going to do a default here. They're just kind of playing the clock a little bit. They're trying to see where players are at. Maybe they were reading some mid-aggression. They haven't cleared out Oni, though. They don't know about him yet.
I believe they are unaware of where he is at.
Now, this is interesting from the side of TU. They're actually going to try to entertain pushing this Viper ult from the looks of it. Maybe try to util dump the Viper and get her off of the ult so that way they can take sight. They do have util for it. They have Cypher ult and Omen ult for info. They have Cypher ult for info and Sova ult.
It's the Omen ult
for
coming out of
damage.
TU.
And Rain with the 2K. Saint follows up with another kill.
Septic
But it's
getting the
traded
pick on
fast by
Rain.
Tiffin. 2v3 situation here.
30 seconds left.
Mint's going to go ahead and ult that body to get some info. And hopefully that clears some space out. They're going to go ahead and retreat. They have 20 seconds left on the clock here. They could make it to A, just barely. But Manchester's aware of this, and they are rotating as fast as humanly
Both
possible.
teams are booking it to A at the moment.
10 seconds
Yeah,
left.
that was a good read out of Tiffin. Saw everyone was stacked and
And the
headed
plant's
on
going to go
over.
down. Once again, if
Not
you're
looking
Manchester, that
heaven.
might be a little scary if the plant goes down, because now you're playing against the clock. And Tiffin's post plants have proven to be insanely good. Zeptic gets the kill onto Oni. That is a huge opening on this A retake. Mint's got a perfect angle here. It's old for Droopy. Ooh, you can see it. Zeptic struggling there. Droopy gets the trade.
One
Mint with the
enemy
trade.
remaining.
He's got Cam. He knows it's there. Mint with a clean kill on Nakua. And that's 3K for him. 8-4 half for Tiffin. If you're
Switching
Manchester,
sides.
you're probably starting to sweat a little bit.
that was a massive clutch coming out from Mint to secure that 8-4 half.
And I had some questions about the play from Tiffin to push that ult, but hey, they got the round at the end of the day. But I definitely had some questions about that, some doubts. Figured after that it was definitely Manchester's round there.
High risk, high reward, I guess.
Yeah. But I'd argue that that wasn't even really rewarding. It was more of just see what we can do, I guess. But
As soon as they got the Cypher info, they did immediately book it out of there.
yeah,
So
yeah. And, you know, when it's the last round of the half, you know, you might as well try to use all of the ults when you can because you don't get them going into the second half. So I respect
heavy
it.
A push coming out of TU.
Beautiful cam from Mint there to get the C long visibility. I don't think Saint was immediately aware of it, but
Just like
Now-
you mentioned before, that aggression is Knight is showing
Yeah.
the aggression that you mentioned.
yeah, absolutely. It's just a matter of if he can get his one. Now, if you're on the side of Manchester, you're probably maybe anticipating this a little bit and maybe trying to wait out the TP timer, because once you... Actually, there isn't even a your TP out. Knight's very disciplined with that. Might not even have one anymore. It might have expired earlier. No, I don't think so.
We're just guessing.
I don't think it did. Unless it just doesn't show on the mini-map, then, you know. But Manchester's going to book it down short. Knight's still holding this position. Yeah, that TP must have expired. So we can see Knight doesn't have it, but he does have a fake out, a clone. Zeptic in the back site, ready to go. And Manchester might be unaware that they're walking right into a 3-stack.
And a great pinch out of Tiffin.
Saint really doesn't have a lot of info either. Kua gets the frag on a 9Z. That's an opening for them. But Zeptic's here long. Ooh, beautiful flash from the side of Manchester, but Zeptic's going to clean it up. Zeptic and Knight there. 3 kills. Can Knight win this 1v2? That is the question. It looks like Manchester's going to book it to B.
Very low HP as well.
Yeah, this is super winnable. This is anyone's round, really. So they're going to go ahead and plant on B there.
Spike planted.
Does Knight clear the far right corner there where Droopy is standing? He's going to try to look for the Viper player first, or at least a player. He's out. Ooh, whiffage. A dink on Nakua. This is now winnable for Knight.
One enemy
There's
remaining.
one. Huge round from Knight. And honestly, that was not looking disciplined enough from the side of Manchester there. And once again, that kind of goes back to them fundamentals, really, at the end of the day.
I think Manchester...
I think they're getting a little antsy.
A little antsy, and they both were kind of holding the same angle. I know it was a different position, but they were relatively close to each other when they could have just...
Yeah, and
had slightly...
Unfortunately for Manchester, their Omen player, you know, even though he's low, so he's going to take first contact, because that makes sense. But then I believe Kua there was the kind of swung a little too early off of it, and it worked against them.
I think we're going to get another aggressive Knight push here.
Absolutely. You get a lot of info off of that.
Mosey getting a pick in mid.
Gets traded, though. Looks like Manchester's going to go for this fast B play. Can Zeptic get one? Knight gets one onto Oni. That's huge. Shock Dart and Vulnerable goes through. Doesn't seem to land. Zeptic gets a kill onto Rain.
Just chamber left, and that's...
Beautiful trades from the side of Tiffin. Looking very clean. And if you're Manchester, I'm expecting another timeout. I'm not going to lie.
Team A.
Did they ever call one in the first?
I don't think so.
I don't think a timeout was ever called in the first half.
And I don't blame them, because that half was actually pretty competitive. But right now, if you're down 6 rounds, you know, if you're Manchester, you're probably looking to call a timeout here, especially on an eco round. You'll see a lot of coaches call timeouts on eco rounds because that's a throwaway round anyways. So you can kind of spend that entire eco round, even after the timeout, talking about what you want to do for your buy round. So you'll see a lot of pro teams, they will strategically plan their timeouts around their saves. So we're not seeing that from Manchester, but I'm surprised. I'm surprised we're not seeing a timeout from them. Oni with a huge kill on tonight. That's one way to open it. Mosey with the kill on to Saint. And Tiffin's going to play retake A from the looks of it. You can see them backed off. What a shot from Rain onto Mint there. You'd think that Outlaw would win any day. And Manchester's looking like they might have gotten themselves into this round. Looks like they're going to try to group up. And these sheriffs are just looking devastating. Zeptic with the kill onto Oni. He's now put in a 1v3. He does have full utility online. It's just a matter of if he can find everybody in time. He's still got a minute to work with. So there's still plenty of time. I think he's going to get the wrap on Nakua here. It's perfect. It's beautiful. Deal some damage as well to their Sova. There's a Guardian. Guardian and full utility.
It's very doable.
There's one man to clutch this round. It's definitely Zeptic.
Spike planted.
Now, if you're Manchester, you would ideally want to be playing together in A position. It looks like it's going to be the C long angle. Zeptic expended the dart, so he doesn't really have much info to work with now other than a drone, but Seeing as the spike is one-wayed with a one-way smoke from the side of Manchester, it looks like Zeptic should know that both of them are probably playing the long angle. This is going to be pretty tough. When you're one-wayed like this, it means that they can see you. They can see your feet sticking out of the smoke, but you can't see them. And it looks like Zeptic's going to back off of this and just try to deal some damage. A very good discipline from the side of Manchester. I think Tiffin overextended a little bit on some of these fights. Again, I don't totally hate it because... Ooh, what a shot from Zeptic. Cleaned up by Droopy. Hey, damage is damage at the end of the day.
He got the one.
But there's the timeout. I honestly think that is some incredibly strange timing for a timeout. Like I said, ideally you do it off the back of some eco rounds personally. But
yeah, because now they're what? It's 10-5?
Yeah, 10-5. 10-5 in favor of TU.
3 away from the victory.
Yeah, and if you're Manchester, you have a mountain to climb. I mean, you're talking 8 rounds to win just to take the map, and then you have to do it again in
map 3.
Map. And
yeah, that's tough.
That's a
late
tough ask.
timeout. That's
yeah. I was really hoping to see some earlier timeouts on the side of Manchester, really trying to figure out the best way to counter this TU play. But at the end of the day, Tiffin's really coming out with some heroic plays too. I mean, they're winning clutches. I mean, that's also giving them a huge boost to their scoreline, just winning good clutches, and that just comes down to individual players.
Yeah, the clutches, the trading.
Looks like it sounds like we're back in the game here.
Yeah, the trading is on point from Tiffin. The early rounds looked kind of rough.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Mr. Producer Man, thank you.
NA Pardo.
We're there. Awesome.
Zeptic 20-9 with the ult ready. Manchester not having any ults here to go into this round.
And we're gonna see an early dart from Zeptic here just to get the A info, but that smoke seems to block it off. It looks like the dart didn't quite land either. Saint with a huge kill. 9Z's gonna go ahead and get that ISO off. Clean kill onto Oni.
3 for 3 on those ults.
Mosey's walking out of garage with the sheriff, trying to get a pinch. He might be able to abuse the fact that they only have a chamber trick to work with. 9Z with the kill. Now Knight's going to play. Close there. Gets fragged out by Rain. But look at this.
I do
so
like
Mosey's
this
going to smoke
pinch.
off the trip. He's going to smoke off the trip and try to work around it to get some info. Rain with the read onto that.
And with that, it looks like Manchester is taking the bomb.
Looking like looks like a very winnable round for Manchester. They're gonna beat Tiffin just by a little bit to the sight timing, especially because it's just 9Z by himself. He's got no shield anymore, so it's really just his body. He's gonna go out. It's fragged out, unfortunately. Cleaned up. Solid round from Manchester. Have to give it to him. Build up a little bit of ults. Build up a little bit of momentum. I don't know what they talked about during that timeout, but it worked, whatever it was.
We are 1 away from Mosey ult. We have the Yoru ult and the Sova ult. I know names now. But Manchester 1 point away on 2 of their characters.
Yeah, their ult economy is looking a hair better, but not significantly, not worryingly enough. And we saw just a second ago there, Zeptic took some fall damage at the start of the round. We'll just move on from that.
Good luck fall damage, you know?
Yeah.
Knight holding garage. That's garage.
Sure. Yes.
He's very aggressive with it.
This is a good drone for mid, just to give a little bit of info, just to figure out where they're at. I am a little afraid it's too early in the round, because when you're Sova, your util is very valuable. Your information is valuable, and it's all about getting good timing on that information. And if you expend a drone really early, ooh, clean headshot onto Oni from 9Z. And 9Z is already 2 away from yet another ISO ult. I mean, he's just farming this ult. And Tiffin's really good at abusing that strength that 9Z has. He's going to get shock darted out from Rain. Rain learning a little bit of geometry here. Knight with the ult. Ult and a judge. Huge kill. Huge kills from Tiffin, actually. Very good round from them, utilizing them ults to the fullest potential.
Rain got the trade on the Knight, but Zeptic there to clean it up as well.
And it's just looking too good for Tiffin. beautiful use of them ults, beautiful coordination there, and I find it interesting that Manchester went for that B site. B site's the hardest, in my opinion, hardest site to take on Haven, and I think you really should only do it if you're like really desperate to get the spike down. Other than that, it kind of feels like a death trap, especially when you're playing against a team like Tiffin.
They only got 9Z before they decided to full commit, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. And Tiffin was very good in being proactive in their positionings to follow up on that quickly. Once again, we're seeing a lot of proactivity, fearlessness from the side of Tiffin, and 9Z is going to get that ISO ult online. And now it's looking like it's up to Mint for this anchor. He gets one onto Rain, which is huge.
It's like that halts Manchester down long.
I'm a little confused by the Yoru ult from the side of Manchester. I'm not really sure what that was for. Ooh, ISO ult just barely missing the toes of some of the Manchester players here, and it looks like Manchester might back off of this. And
losing that Sova, not the best for Manchester. That really halted their aggression onto the C site,
especially when you don't have a cipher to follow up on the info. You know, chamber trip is very limited information, and it's significantly less information than having a cipher camera. So yeah, losing your Sova is probably your most important player on that Manchester lineup, outside of maybe your Yoru. Your Yoru can have the potential to get some information, but if he doesn't have his ult online, it's really hard. And so it looks like Manchester's going to group up and go for this A take. I'm not really sure. I think they're just playing against the clock here, and Tiffin knows that they can just play the clock. And they're going to go for last minute execute. Zeptic gets the 2K. Knight jumps down and gets the 2K. It is beautiful, and Manchester just simply took too long, I think. I think they're just... they were afraid. They backed down. You see that? They backed down immediately off of the first blood from Mint there.
Yeah, that... The aggression was halted on C, and then they were hit by a camera on A, and Tiffin knew they were there, but they decided to wait it out a little bit and still continue to the A site.
Beautiful timing on the retake, honestly.
Yeah, the timings for Manchester that round were a little off.
Manchester just seems a little unsure of themselves on a lot of these rounds. There's some rounds where they kind of come out swinging, like they have potential, and then there's the rounds that you saw last round where they're playing a little too slow. And once again, Tiffin's up numbers here after getting 2 kills. Saint did try to trade it out with an op and got 1, but Mint's got a hell of an anchor to do here. He gets shock darted. He's just trying to dance inside these cages here. And Manchester's going to go ahead and commit to this C execute. Get the smokes down.
See Yoru and ISO on the flank.
Mosey with the kill onto Rain. That's huge. Mint with the kill. And now Droopy's left in a 1v4. He gets 2. And Knight's there to clean it up. That is game 2-0 Tiffin University. It looked too good. I mean, it really did. I mean, that's that was overwhelming if you're Manchester.
That was very very odd. They had good rounds where their timings were great, their aggression was great, and even just like their trading was good too. But
yeah,
Tiffin was able to keep up all of that consistently. And Manchester, like you said, just didn't really know.
Their pacing just seemed very random sometimes. Like there were some rounds where like they were looked like they were gonna like play aggressive and be like, all right, let's go, let's try to make something happen. And then there were some rounds where they just looked lost. And looking at the scoreboard here, Zeptic with a dominant performance, and 9Z as well. 24-12 for Zeptic and 19-12 for 9Z, looking huge once again. And I mean, it was a bit more of a fight for Manchester. They found their footing on that first half a little bit. It was looking like maybe we had a game on our hands, but then that second half, I mean, just
their momentum
dominant.
very spotty in that second half. I don't know what happened. Like you said, that timeout was in a weird spot.
Yeah.
The momentum just was there some rounds, like really good some rounds, and then just not there anymore. Yeah. And Tiffin just is consistent.
And
with
if you want
that.
my honest opinion, I think at the end of the day, it's just one of those scenarios where, to my knowledge, Manchester's a newer team as far as that roster goes. And like I said, Tiffin's just got such the 4 players, mince the new one, but them 4 players there, them playing together for a while and just have it down
that chemistry.
to a T. Like you just can't beat that.
That chemistry very important, especially for a slower, methodical game like Valorant. Knowing what your team is going to do without even asking them,
Helps. Every
that's a good
millisecond
benefit.
counts in this type of game, and they proved it. So I think Manchester could look to be okay, moving forward.
Yeah,
They showed some promise on some rounds, but like I said, just that XP.
a nice
crazy.
2-0 for
2-0
Tiffin to
clean
kick
sweep.
off
We take
the
those.
season.
So
I believe that's it. There's no more games tonight. That's it.
That's it. So,
We did it. We won. Any wise
sir.
words, Coach? You're not the coach. No wise words from the guy.
The guy.
The guy. All right, well,
what a title.
the guy. I believe that'll do it for us. GG's in Manchester. Great
Yes,
showing
GGs.
on.
Good opening for Tiffin.
Good opening.
1-0,
Great,
start it.
great showing for Tiffin. Good opening. Let's keep this momentum. We'll be back next week for. Is it Heidelberg or is it?
I believe so.
It's the
yes,
T-Town.
yes.
Is that here?
Yes.
All right, T-Town Throwdown, which means I'll have a Heidelberg guy here. Probably. I don't know. I'll be back. He might be here. We'll see.
First time casting. Hope I did okay.
Yeah, you gave the info. I'm just here for.
I'm the info guy.
I'm just here for. I wouldn't even say comedic relief. I don't know. I'm here to just have a good time, and thank you for joining.
Yes.
We will be back next Friday. Shout out to the boys who won it.
Round of applause.
Round of applause. Knight 9Z.
Throw the clapping
Mosey,
emojis in the chat.
Zeptic, Mint Meister. Great first game from him.
Yes. Very promising talent. Really liked his timings on the lurks, and he can anchor a site very well.
Yes, I am excited to see him throughout the semester and the rest of this team to see
absolutely.
how that
Very good fit.
how that chemistry just continues to grow.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.